Right, I'm just going to check on my lavender plants. These are the Lavender Grosso, a slightly bigger variety than the English Lavender that we've planted in. Found these at another online store, so I bought a pack of 25. This one looks pretty second-hand, doesn't it? Looks like it's on its way out. So that'll leave 24 plants here, and I want to try and get these in the ground in the next day or so. So today's exercise is to get the tractor and the tiller out and run another row next to where our other lavender is. So let's get into it. Before we get started, I've just got to do a quick job on the tractor. So this is my John Deere 2025, and it's only got, now it's got 10 hours on it. And I've just been sort of looking the last couple of times that I've driven it just to check the oil level, and it seems to me that the oil level's high. So if I take the dipstick out and have a look at it, you can see the oil level here, and it's way above where I think it should be. And I've checked this a couple of times and I thought, well, you know, maybe they have a reason for it, but I keep checking it and in my mind it's high. So what I'm going to do is just crawl underneath it and just drain a little bit out so there isn't that much oil in there. It's not a lot, but we'll take probably 500 mils, 300 mils, something like that out. Okay, I'll get my pan and we'll get into it. Put that back in there. Okay. Right, so I've got my socket. It's a 17 mil, and I've got a pan down here with some old oil in it. The trick is how much to let out, because I haven't got any oil to top it up, so I don't want to let too much out. So it could end very badly if I can't get the plug back in. Anyway, let's give it a shot. How much to take out, that's the question, without getting it everywhere. Righto, let's just check that level, see where we're at. Okay, we're right on the top of the line, so I think we're good. Took 3 attempts to get the oil out. First couple I just sort of let it dribble out quite slowly. The third time I actually undid the bolt and quite a lot came out in one swoop. So anyway, I'm pleased that that's the right level now. I have really no idea why they would overfill it. I've always been, taught that with engines, having too much oil in it is just as bad as not having as much oil in it, because having too much oil, you run the risk of blowing out oil seals, the rear oil seal at the back of the engine block. So it's not a good idea. That's why they put the lines on the dipstick, is to get the oil between the lines and not above it. So why? I don't know. Anyway, it's fixed and we can get on with the job. This is the first 2 rows of lavender that we've been putting in over the last couple of weeks. So this is the English lavender. It's going alright. I don't water it every day, but I don't know if you can sort of see how big that is now. It's got green tips on it. Some of them seem to be doing a bit better than others. That's all good. But what we're going to do is put another row. So I've got 1 row here, 1 row here. I'm going to put another row down this way here, down there. That's going to be of the Grosso variety. So that's a slightly larger plant. So it's going to be planted a little bit wider apart. These are about 750 mils apart. The Grosso plant's going to be 1 metre apart. So I'll just go and get my tape measure, some marking paint, and we'll mark out on the grass where we want to dig the next row. Right, I'm just going to check the measurements. So these rows are 2.5 metres apart. So from the centre of each row across to this one, it's 2.5 metres to there. So we add another 2.5 metres to 2.5 metres and we get 5. So come over here to 5, which is there. And this is the spray marker stuff that I've got. It breaks down pretty quick when it's on the surface, so you really only want to use it the day that you want to mark something else, because it tends to fade into the grass quite quick. So I'm going to put a mark here at 5. Okay, so that's the width there. I'll go up the other end and do another measurement down there. Okay, so I'm down the other end now. I've got this one now marked at 5. This one at 2.5. And this one here. So this will be the other end here. How about we write your name on the grass here? If I go L, L-I,
What's he doing?
L.
I see you spraying. I see you spraying.
What's that say? Lily. That's you.
I put this up.
What do you want me to do there?
The name again.
Your name again?
Mimi.
Mimi.
I can put that on the fridge.
I will put on the fridge.
Mim.
You go to the house.
Oh, I've got to go to the house now.
There we are, Mim.
And there.
Well, I can't keep putting paint everywhere, Sweet Pea. I'll run out of paint. All right, I'm going to walk up this way.
That's what you do to measure things.
Okay, so I've got it marked out. It's 2.5 metres from the other row. And I've got it marked there. So now I'm just going to go along it. I'm just going to put some lines here on the grass. Try and not cover up my tape measure too much with paint. So the idea of doing this is that I can pick a line when I start the row on the tractor and travel in a straight line, and my row should be straight. Trying not to get paint on my...
You were crying.
Crack, crack, crack. Crack, crack, crack. She's off. Right, so I've just positioned the tractor, and this is how I sort of work out the rows. So I get the middle of the tiller, my orange line is under there, and it also, if you look at the front, it's underneath where the PTO is, down there. So that's sort of the centre line. And if we walk around the front, have a look here, so the lines are disappearing down there. So what I do for the front of the tractor is I line it up with the bucket in the middle of the line, and what I can see from the driver's seat is basically this valve body here, which is right in the middle of the arm assembly for the bucket. So what I do is I can actually look down here, and I keep the orange line basically going down between these two connectors here, and that gives me a straight line. It's worked in the past for the other ones I've done, so no great science to it. It's just what I've worked out, and it seems to work okay. In the earlier videos, there's one called lime, or adding lime, and what I did is when we first started doing it, we were measuring 2 kilograms per row and putting it on. Haven't done it this time. I'm sort of got a bit of an idea now of just what it looks like when you put that sort of weight on the ground, so I'm just eyeing it in. No real science to this one. Pretty sure it'll be about the same. Looks to be about the same. So this is just garden lime. Oh, birds are noisy, aren't they? So this is just garden lime. You can also get at the garden store or the hardware store, you can get dolomite, which is something similar, but I think dolomite's got more calcium in it, so it's better for root development as well as changing the pH of the soil. Dolomite is usually a bit more granular than this stuff. I mentioned before that it looks like sand, and it really does. It just looks like you're putting white sand over the top. Maybe that's what lime is. Anyway, just about there. Then I'll put some wetter soil on. Cool.